"Just sign these," my business partner said, while I lay paralyzed in a hospital bed. "I'm just keeping things running." I trusted him and signed everything. What he didn't know was that the banking logs were still recording every click. My name is Brian Mitchell. I'm 45 years old. I worked 15 years building Mitchell & Reed Construction from nothing but a pickup truck and some tools. You know how it starts. Big dreams, small budget. Kevin Reed was my roommate in college. Engineering majors, both of us, used to stay up designing buildings that would change skylines, whatever that meant to 20-year-olds who'd never even poured a foundation. We started small, garage conversions, bathroom remodels. Nothing glamorous, but we were precise, didn't cut corners. Word got around. After 3 years, we landed our first commercial contract, a dentist's office, 2,400 square feet. Not exactly a skyscraper, but it was ours. From there, we grew slow and steady. By last summer, we had 62 employees, projects across North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Annual revenue of just over $14 million. Not huge by industry standards, but solid, stable. I handled operations, site management, client relations. Kevin managed finances, permits, legal stuff, perfect division. Never had issues, never needed formal contracts between us. 15 years of trust builds something stronger than paper, right? At least that's what I thought. Last July, I was inspecting the Lakeside Hotel renovation in Charlotte. 6-story building from the 1940s. Beautiful brick structure. But the interior needed complete gutting. I was on the 3rd floor, walking across a temporary platform the subcontractors had installed, checking drywall progress. Just routine stuff. I remember hearing a crack. Not loud, just I don't know, a wrong sound. Then nothing under my feet, just air. 3 stories down, concrete floor below. The doctors later told me I was lucky. Lucky is their word, not mine. The impact shattered my T10 vertebra. Clean break, severed my spinal cord. Paralyzed from the waist down permanently. That kind of lucky. That means you're not dead, but everything changes. 2 months in the hospital. 3 surgeries. Pain that, well, there aren't really words for that kind of pain. And Kevin was there, you know. He visited almost every day, always with his laptop, always working. "Don't worry about anything," he kept saying. "I'm handling all operations, payroll, everything. Just focus on getting better." He'd sit there, typing away, while I stared at the ceiling, trying to accept that I would never walk again. After the hospital came rehab, learning how to do everything, how to sit up, how to get in and out of a wheelchair, how to use the bathroom, how to navigate a world that wasn't built for wheels. Lot of frustration, lot of painkillers, not a great combination for clear thinking. Kevin would visit with papers for me to sign, authorization forms, contract renewals, banking documents, just keeping things running, he'd say. And I'd sign, didn't even read most of it, trusted him completely. Why wouldn't I? 15 years of partnership. He was the best man at my wedding, for God's sake. 6 months into my rehab, I finally asked to see the full financial reports. The company numbers, project statuses. Kevin got strange, not immediately defensive, just evasive. "Things are tight right now," he said. "Construction slowdown, economy's uncertain. I'll get you the reports next week." Next week came nothing. Called him, voicemail, texted, no response. I reached out to our office manager, Lisa. Her response was odd. "The office has been closed for renovation for 2 weeks. Kevin said to work from home until further notice." Renovation. I hadn't approved any renovation. Called our project manager, Dave. He hadn't heard from Kevin in almost a month. 2 of our major projects were stalled because suppliers hadn't been paid. Clients were threatening legal action. Something was very wrong. From my adapted home office, basically a desk I could roll under, I tried to access our company banking portal. Password had been changed. Called the bank directly. After verifying my identity, they helped me reset access. What I saw, It was like the floor dropping out from under me all over again. Our main operating account, 4,320.17, remaining from what should have been over $800,000. Our reserve fund, zero. Our equipment financing account, overdrafted. Our line of credit maxed out at $500,000. Even the employee pension contribution account, the one we'd promised would always be sacred, emptied, $1.8 million, gone. I scrolled through transaction after transaction. Systematic transfers dating back to my first week in the hospital. Small at first, $10,000 here, $15,000 there, then bigger, $50,000. $75,000. Finally, just 3 weeks earlier, a single transfer of $350,000 to an account I didn't recognize. Kevin Reed was gone, his cell disconnected, his apartment emptied, his social media deleted, just gone, with almost everything we'd built. I didn't yell, didn't throw things, couldn't really, from the wheelchair, didn't immediately call the police. Didn't hire some private investigator, didn't post about it online. Instead, I wheeled myself to my bedroom, opened the safe in my closet, and removed a small external hard drive. 3 years earlier, we'd had a close call with vendor fraud, someone trying to change payment information to redirect funds. After that, I'd insisted on enhanced security protocols for all our banking. Kevin had complained about the unnecessary hassle, but eventually agreed. What the protocols included was a complete log of every banking session, IP addresses, login times, duration, actions taken, everything. I plugged in the drive, still updating, still recording. Kevin had been too busy stealing to remember the security system I'd implemented. That night, I didn't sleep. Just methodically went through the logs, made spreadsheets, created timelines, documented everything, not out of some emotional need for revenge, just clarity. I needed to understand exactly what had happened, the complete picture. The next morning, I called our insurance broker, confirmed that our policy covering employee theft and fraud was still active. It was. Then I called our attorney, Margaret, not the company attorney, my personal attorney, asked her to come to my house. She arrived that afternoon. "Brian," she said after reviewing everything, "this is methodical, premeditated, not some desperate act. He's been planning this." "I know," I said. "You want to go to the police?" she asked. "Not yet," I replied. "First, I need to know where he is and where the money is." The logs showed everything. Kevin had accessed our accounts from his laptop primarily, but he'd been careful, or thought he was, used VPNs to mask his location. But patterns emerged, specific times of day, specific sequences of actions. I created a second spreadsheet tracking the destination of every transfer. Some went to offshore accounts, Belize, Cyprus, places with strict banking privacy laws. Those would be difficult to recover. But approximately $480,000 had gone to various LLCs registered in different states: Delaware, Wyoming, Nevada. States known for corporate anonymity. Working 14, sometimes 16 hours a day, I traced each LLC. Most were dead ends. Shell companies owning other shell companies. But one, Westlake Consulting Group LLC, registered in Oregon, had something different. Regular, small payments, $3,200 monthly to the same recipient, not a business account, a personal account. That was the thread I pulled. While doing all this, I was still dealing with my new physical reality, adjusting my house, installing ramps, lowering counters, daily physical therapy, learning to drive with hand controls. The anger, and yes, there was anger, I channeled into upper body workouts, building strength where I still had function, preparing. 4 weeks into my investigation, I found what I needed. Westlake Consulting had paid for a health club membership in Portland, Oregon. The membership was under the name Kyle Richards, but used Kevin's actual social security number. He'd changed his name, his appearance probably, but not his entire identity. He wasn't hiding in some tropical tax haven. He was 2 hours away by plane, living under a thin disguise, probably thinking I was still too broken, too consumed by my disability to function, let alone find him. I didn't confront him, didn't call, didn't send threatening messages. Instead, I compiled everything, every transaction, every login, every transfer, maps of money movement, timeline of his actions compared to my hospital and rehab schedule. Proof that signatures on some documents couldn't possibly have been mine because I was in surgery when they were supposedly signed. Complete documentation of everything he'd stolen and how he'd done it. Then I contacted the FBI's Financial Crimes Division, securities fraud, wire fraud, identity theft, multiple state jurisdictions. They took an immediate interest. I also filed claims with our insurance company for the maximum coverage of the employee theft policy, $1.2 million, sent them the same documentation. Then I reached out to our biggest clients whose projects had stalled, explained the situation factually, no emotional appeals, just that the company had experienced criminal financial activity. The authorities were involved, and I was personally working to resolve their project issues, asked for patience. Most granted it. All this time, Kevin was in Oregon, probably spending our money, thinking he was safe, thinking I was defeated. Meanwhile, I was getting stronger every day, physically, mentally, adapting. The wheelchair became less of an obstacle and more of just how I got around. My arms developed muscles I never knew existed. My mind sharpened without the distraction of daily job sites to visit. 8 weeks after I discovered the theft, the FBI called. They had enough to move. Agents in Portland had been monitoring Kyle Richards for 2 weeks, documenting his activities, his spending habits, his routine. They asked if I wanted to be notified when they made the arrest. I declined. Didn't need to see it. Didn't need that moment of whatever it would be. Satisfaction, closure, the paperwork, the evidence, the systematic dismantling of his scheme. That was enough. 3 days later, at 9:17 a.m., Kevin Reed was arrested while attempting to open a new bank account using his fake identity. He had $23,000 in cash in his apartment and documentation for accounts in 4 countries. According to the agent who called me, when they put the handcuffs on him, he asked, "How did you find me?" They didn't tell him. I like to think that bothers him still, the not knowing. The arrest made local news in both Portland and Charlotte. Reporters called. I didn't answer. Released a simple statement through Margaret. Mitchell and Reed Construction is cooperating fully with authorities regarding the alleged financial crimes of former co-owner Kevin Reed. The company is in the process of reorganization and remains committed to completing all client projects. No emotional language. No accusations, just facts. The legal process ground forward. Kevin was extradited back to North Carolina, charged with multiple felonies. The evidence was overwhelming. His lawyer reached out to discuss a plea deal. The insurance claim was processed. $1.2 million paid out, not the full amount stolen, but enough to restart. The FBI froze several of Kevin's accounts, recovering another $340,000. That left about $260,000 unaccounted for, probably spent, probably gone for good. I hired back our core team, explained what happened, offered slightly higher salaries than before, restructured the company as sole proprietorship, Mitchell Construction, no and Reed anymore. We resumed work on the stalled projects. I couldn't be on site physically, but with video calls, detailed plans, and trusted site managers, we made it work. Some clients left, most stayed. Word got around about what had happened, about how I'd handled it. We even gained new business from it. People respect resilience, I guess. Kevin eventually took a plea deal. 8 years, restitution ordered, though I doubt I'll ever see much of that money. I didn't attend the sentencing, didn't need to see him in an orange jumpsuit. The outcome was what mattered, not the spectacle. 6 months after the arrest, his wife, ex-wife by then, called me, wanted to apologize, said she had no idea. asked if we could talk. I told her simply, there's nothing to discuss. Not out of bitterness. There just wasn't. What would talking accomplish? The facts were the facts. It's been 18 months now since the fall. 16 months since discovering the theft. 10 months since Kevin's arrest. The company is smaller now, 43 employees, more selective with projects, better profit margins actually. I work from home most days. Designed a custom desk setup that works with the wheelchair. Got a specialized vehicle I can drive myself, adapted. The spinal injury doesn't define me, but it changed me, made me more patient, more precise, less willing to assume things will just work out because they always have before. We're on track to hit $10 million in revenue this year, not where we were, but growing again, stable, and this time I check the financial reports myself, daily. The banking protocols I created that caught Kevin enhanced them. Now there's triple verification for any transfer over $5,000. People sometimes ask if I'm angry at Kevin, if I hate him for what he did. The truth is, I don't think about him much. He made his choices. I made mine. The difference is, I can look in the mirror each morning. Last month, I got a letter from him, from prison. Didn't open it, didn't need to. Returned to sender. Some men run when the ground collapses beneath them. Others learn to build from where they land.